In this section, we will learn about Romania. The geography of Romania is a bit different than that of which we found in Greece. Romania is the 12th largest country in Europe and is located halfway between the North Pole and the equator. The Carpathian Mountains extend over 600 miles throughout Romania. About 98% of the streams and rivers that are found here spring from this mountain range. The Romanian Black Sea coast can also be found here, stretching 150 miles. You'll also find over 3,500 lakes and some lagoons and coastal lakes throughout this area. Here are just a couple different scenarios in which you could see when traveling or visiting Romania. The agriculture in Romania is quite a bit different from that in which we've seen in Greece. Some couple uses in which the land is used for is agricultural uses being number one, land for forests, and then land for other things like waters and buildings. The climate here is very warm and dry. Now this may cause problems for crops, but it also allows the growth of cereal crops such as the wheat, corn, barley, rye, and oats. Just like every country has an important export, Romania's most important export is cattle, or as we refer to them as cows in the US. The flag of Romania is also one that holds a lot of uniqueness. It pertains with three stripes, a blue stripe, a yellow stripe, and a red stripe. The colored stripes represent Moldova and Wallachia. This flag, pictured here, which is now the current flag and was adopted on December 27th of 1989. Romania declared independence from the Ottoman Empire on May 9th of 1877, and that is now recognized as the Romanian Independence Day. The population in Romania is a bit larger than what we've seen in Greece, with a little over 19,000 people in it as of June 28th of this year. For a more updated live version of what the population is today, please visit the link provided here. Out of the population in Romania, it makes up about 0.26% of the total world population. As compared to Greece and the US, the life expectancy of both males and females is still at a pretty decent level. The economy in Romania is a lot better than that of which we previously seen in Greece. A lot of the money that is made in Romania goes towards agriculture, industry services, with the number one leading thing being services. In Romania, their GDP last year was a little over $413 billion, which is a lot more compared to what we just seen in Greece. Unemployment is a little bit on the high side, but it's not extremely high. But the Romanian government and the people have been taking on different tasks to try and still lower this increase of unemployment. Pictured here is a scale of the economic standing of Romania. The world average is about 60.9, but this region actually exceeds that world average, showing a very stable standing in the economy worldwide. The government of Romania is a republic and this was established in 1862. Much as we've seen in Greece, the government of Romania also has a prime minister and a president. Here, the prime minister also has a little more pull and a little more rule over the president. Currently holding office is this gentleman right here, Mahia Tudus, which just took office June 26th of this year due to some conflicting issues with the previous prime minister. As mentioned, there is also a president. The president currently is Klaus Honas, which is pictured here on the right. Globalization is more of a prominent figure and aspect within the Roman culture. Graft and nepotism have been said to still exist throughout the Romanian government and economy. According to the New York Times, graft and nepotism is highly blamed for the high levels of poverty, polarization, social, and economic injustice. However, even though there are protests going on for this, these protests that they see because of the graft and nepotism are opposite of what we see in America today with our political protests. People in Romania are not protesting against globalization or the European Union, but rather seeking greater globalization, a more solid European nation, and more American and NATO involvement. Protesters also say that they foresee only one way for the European nation to go at this point, and that is for more democracy, more transparency, and more westernization. As we've seen with the Greek culture, Orthodox Christianity also takes up a lot of Romania. However, just like with any country you visit, it is important to know that there is more than one religion that takes a stance within every country. In Romania, you are likely to see Protestants, Catholics, and other sects of religion, and maybe even some who claim not to be religious. Romania art is also pretty unique. One of the main artists was a famous Roman sculptor, painter, and photographer who lived from 1876 to 1957. He went to school in Bucharest School of Fine Arts and also worked in Paris for a while. Pictured here is one of his most famous works, and a sculpture. The Romanian food pyramid is a little similar to that in which we see in the US, but there are a few things that are a little different. These portions here that we see with dairy, meat, vegetables, and fruits are pretty common to that of the American food pyramid. However, the Romanian food pyramid suggests more portions of grain and pasta compared to the American one. And also, with more exercise, there's an adequate number of water that they suggest one drinks. Just like with any kind of table manners, the Romans have their own set of dining etiquette. Some of these include not to eat until the host starts eating, to always keep the knife in the right hand and the fork in the left. It is also recommended that you eat with your fork in your right hand and not to switch or to eat, not to switch the two. When you finish eating, you're supposed to place the fork and the knife together on top of the plate, side by side, in a parallel way. This will help establish that you are done eating. Napkins are always kept on the table. not on the lap, not on the arm, but on the table. It is also known to always pass food to the left. Even if the person next to you on your right asks for something, it is suggested that you pass it around the table to the left until it reaches that person. When it comes to who is served first, it is noted that the oldest woman or the most honored guest is always served first. You always know whether it is the oldest woman or the most honored guest that is served first in case both of them happen to be at an event or a dinner, because the most important one to be served first will be sat at the head of the table. Another important rule is in Roman culture, men will typically stand when women enter the room and sit down. The national dish of Romania is sarmale, which is a Roman cabbage roll with ground pork or other meat, rice, and vegetable. These are usually stuffed. Here is a link to where you can find the recipe. These, shockingly, are becoming more and more popular in the US as people seek more healthy dishes to eat and more healthy choices. The Roman breakfast is similar to what you see here. On the top, you will see a Turkish-style coffee with bread, butter, cheese, or even a vegetable plate. Something small, something simple. There are times where you will see some, as you see on the bottom here too, such as scrambled eggs and a salad, or even some pastries. The main meals in Romania are kind of what you see pictured here. Before meals, there is a drink that is served that helps increase appetite. Fresh bread is also served with every meal. One of the most famous salads to be served is a fish egg salad, which it is what it sounds like, and there's calamari used within this salad mix. A sour soup or ciabatta is usually the first dish served, which you can see here on the bottom left. One of their most famous main dishes too is a salty fish with spices, which is usually served with grilled mushrooms with thick garlic sauce for a second dish. This here is pictured both on the bottom right and the top. Sometimes they are served differently, spiced differently, but in all, it is one of the most popular dishes served as a main meal in Romania. Next, we will take some time to learn about Egypt and more about some other countries in the Middle East to see how they may differ or have some similarities with those countries that we just learned about in the Balkans.